President Donald Trump on Monday, April 14th, suggested his administration could send U.S. citizens who commit violence to El Salvador. He told Salvadoran President Nayib Bukele at the White House that the Homegrowns are next, and urging him to build more prisons to house them. The United States hopes to start deporting criminals that hold U.S. passports to El Salvador, Trump said, as the president welcomed Nayib Bukele to the White House on Monday that he would like to send violent, homegrown criminals to be imprisoned under a deal with the Central American country's government. Trump floated the idea, which he had discussed previously, to Bukele in the Oval Office before reporters entered the room for a bilateral meeting. The exchange was captured in a live-stream video published on the X account of Bukele's office. Homegrown criminals are next, Trump said to Bukele. I said homegrowns are next, the homegrowns. You've got to build about 5 more places. Yeah, we've got space, Bukele responded, as Trump officials in the room could be heard laughing. It's not big enough, Trump said. When the president was asked about deportations, which were briefly blocked by a U.S. court last month, Trump said, I'd like to go a step further. We also have homegrown criminals that push people into subways, hit elderly ladies on the back of the head when they're not looking, that are absolute monsters. I'd like to include them in people to get out of the country. When pressed on the matter by a reporter, he replied, they're as bad as anybody that comes in. We have bad ones too. I'm all for it. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi, who was present at the meeting, is studying the laws right now, the U.S. president added.
I said it to Pam, I don't know what the laws are, we always have to obey the laws, but we also have homegrown criminals that push people into subways, that hit elderly ladies on the back of the head with a baseball bat when they're not looking, that are absolute monsters. I'd like to include them in the group of people to get them out of the country, but you'll have to be looking at the laws on that, Steve, okay?
Mr. President, how essential is it for you guys to be locking up these prisoners? And do you think more presidents should follow suit like you guys as far as taking a hard stance on crime community?
Well, I do. I think everybody has to. I mean, the president said it better than anybody. He said, you know, you have liberty and you have to have liberty, but to have liberty, not everybody is going to be good. And, you know, some are bad because they're sick. They're mentally deranged. They're bad.
White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt said Trump wants to deport heinous, violent criminals who are U.S. citizens to El Salvador. She added that this would only happen if there's a legal pathway to do so.
Over the weekend, President Trump said that he would be willing to have U.S. citizens deported to El Salvador with the cooperation of President Bukele. How would that work legally, and how many people would potentially be available for that operation?
So the president has discussed this idea quite a few times publicly. He's also discussed it privately. You're referring to the president's idea for American citizens to potentially be deported. These would be heinous, violent criminals who have broken our nation's laws repeatedly. And these are violent, repeat offenders in American streets. The president has said if it's legal, right? If there is a legal pathway to do that, he's not sure. We are not sure if there is. It's an idea that he has simply floated and has discussed very publicly as in the effort of transparency.